Hey team, welcome back. So in this section, we're going to talk about React and Redux. And this is a section where we're going to start wiring things up so that we can actually use our API with the React and Redux front-end app that we're going to be creating. So I want to start by talking about what is React. And I'm pretty sure all of you have basic knowledge or basic awareness of what React is, or else you wouldn't be in this video. Or you wouldn't be in this course. But basically React is a JavaScript library, not a framework just yet. At this point, it's a JavaScript library created by Facebook that actually allows us to perform component-based front-end development. And it also allows us to use the power of JSX, which is a way to actually write HTML code within the JavaScript code. And this is a really cool thing that will help us create front-end applications like really fast. I've actually tried this ES6, just doing it like pure JavaScript versus React, and you're always able to move a little faster on React. Now, what does this mean for Java developers? I want to give you some context as to why you should learn JavaScript and why you should learn React. And a use case that comes to mind that I've actually seen in action is that it'll help you create prototypes faster. And I'll give you an example. Usually as a Java developer, you're more concerned with the backend side of things. More specifically, let's say we're more concerned on creating functional APIs. Now, imagine yourself in a situation where you're creating an API to provide some business functionality, and then you go to a room full of people where you have people from the business side that are not technical, and you want to showcase that your API actually works. And then you are thinking about opening Postman and just showing them like the JSON responses. I don't think that's going to go all too well with people that are on the business side. So usually having tools like React under your belt will help you perhaps create a very simple, quick and dirty UI that will actually showcase your API in a way that a business user could comprehend, while the front-end team is actually still working on the design and the front-end logic. And again, I'm not saying here that React is just for prototypes. All I'm saying is that this is a good reason why it could be good for a Java developer to have a JavaScript library like this under his or her belt, so that you can actually create full stack applications whenever you need and actually be able to do it faster. Obviously, having this knowledge will also help you communicate better with your front-end developers. And as I mentioned before, a good use case for this would be to showcase your APIs to your business people a lot better by actually showing them a UI, something that they would understand, and not showing them a bunch of JSON that, I mean, to be honest, even us that are on this business, it's kind of boring to just look at that. Sometimes you want to see what the thing is going to do, right? But again, not saying that React is just for prototypes, right? If you're clenching your teeth right now and wanting to punch me, I'm not saying that React is for prototypes. All I'm saying is that could be a good case for Java developers. Now, Redux. What is Redux? Redux is a state management library, okay, which was inspired by Facebook's Flux architecture. And what we're going to use Redux for is to manage the application state. We are not having any sessions on our Java server, on a Spring server. And later in the course, we're going to actually enable security through a JSON web token. So what Redux is going to do is going to store, and that's the right term, store the application state. And some of the things that it's going to store is a valid JWT token, so that whenever we are actually trying to access an endpoint that's secured, is going to pass on the token with the request as well, right? And this is a perfect library to use when you have reasonable amounts of data changing over time, right? Like, we're going to have a lot of state changes in our application, and Redux is going to be able to manage this without additional expensive API calls, right? So basically Redux is gonna run or it's gonna keep the state on the client side, and this is actually really good for to actually creating applications that are more efficient. I don't want to end this introductory lesson without giving you some expectations on this section. And the fact is that we're going to focus more on, or we're going to focus almost completely on performing ReactJS and Redux coding. We're not going to do any HTML coding. We are not going to do any CSS coding. What's going to happen is that I'm going to give you a collection of designs that I have created for you in advance. And basically on the HTML side, yeah, we're going to do a little bit of copy paste coding here, but just so that we don't invest so much time typing out HTML from scratch, and that we can actually move a little faster and actually include more features into our application. So I am going to just switch back to my VS Code here, and don't worry, I'm going to explain this in detail, how to set up VS Code if you want to use VS Code. But basically, I'm going to give you a collection of HTMLs here, and then I'm just going to take you guys here to the browser, and the main two things that we're going to work with is the dashboard, okay, in which we're going to just showcase all of our projects, and then if we click on create a project, we're going to be taken to the form where we can do so. And also if we click on update project, we are going to get a similar form where we can update our existing project. And then of course we can delete the project here, which will automatically get rid of the project from both our state and our backend. All right, so I just wanted to get this out of the way. Again, this will help us move a lot faster and actually focus on what matters to us in this course specifically, which is to do some React programming. Okay, so in the next lecture, I'm going to talk about the text editor and how to set it up, and also I am going to talk about the requirements in your development environment. And this is also surrounding Node.js, obviously. So the next one is going to be a short one. See you then.